Hello everyone, welcome to Winged Papercrafting, and welcome to Template Tuesday. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've stopped by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to walk through our next set of templates. So I've got template number 3 here, which is just a basic card here. We've got a place up here for a sentiment and some pattern paper around there. And then template number 4 is this fun fold. This is a pretty easy fun fold, but nonetheless makes some striking cards. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with template number 3. So let me put 4 out of the way here. So I have written the recipe, instructions, whatever you want to call it, here on the inside. So we need a card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, which we have. So let's go ahead and burnish that. So there's our card base. The next is a cardstock layer. So we've got one that is 4 by 5, and that is what is going to go on our outside here. And then any color cardstock that you want to use on the inside. So depending on your pattern paper, you might use white, you might use vanilla, basic beige, some other kind of light color that you could stamp and write on. So that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then we've got this piece of cardstock that's going to go up here in the corner. And this one is 2.5 by 3.5. So we're just going to lay this out. That's going to go right there. And then pattern paper. I've got 3 pieces here. One that is 1 1/4 by 3.5. It's going to go here. 1 1/4 by 2.5. It's going to go here. And 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. That's going to go there. So let's go ahead and get this all glued down. So I'm going to use liquid glue for this. You can use whatever kind of adhesive you would like to. Sometimes I like the liquid glue because it gives me a little bit of time to wiggle things so that they're straight. And other times I gravitate toward my seal. So there's just no rhyme or reason to it. It's just, whatever adhesive that you like, by all means use what you like. So let me just straighten this up just a bit. There we go. Okay, so there's our inside layer. Now we'll get our cardstock layer put down here. So for this particular template, unlike the ones that we did last week, I had to bring in another color of gray. So this is basic gray, and I needed that in order to delineate between my cardstock layer and my patterned paper layer. So our pattern paper is this gray granite color, and I know it's not going to look like much on here, but between that and the instructions, you shouldn't have any issues when you go to make your card. And again, you can use whatever colors you want to make your templates. You don't have to use the same ones I used. So I'm going to put this up here in this upper corner, upper right hand corner. So this is where you'll see when we go to make our cards for Christmas card corner, where I used this corner to do some stamping and build a little cluster. You can do kind of whatever you want in this little corner. Okay, so there's that. Now let's get these pieces down. So the bigger one is going to go, well, let's start with this one. This one goes right underneath that piece of cardstock that you did up there. So this one, you just line it up, a little bit of space between this and your cardstock up there, and just put that down. Then this one, the longer piece, is going to go here in the corner. And again, I'm going to scoot this over just a bit because I didn't leave myself enough room to put this piece in. Okay, so this piece then is going to go right down here in the corner. We're still trying to leave an edge on both sides and get that straight. Okay, perfect. And then our little corner up here will finish off our front, just like that. So that was pretty simple. Oops, hang on. It wanted to float around on me. There we go, just like that. So there's our first card template. Okay, so perfect. So now we've got that. Let's move on to the second one. So our second one, or our fourth one, I guess, in our series, template number 4, we need card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then at 2 1/8. So basically, you would first score at your 4 1/4, which is just how you make any other A2 card base. And then basically, we want to score right in half of this front side, and we're just going to fold this back. And then we'll give that a good burnish. And so there's the fun fold part of our fun fold. And then we need a cardstock layer for our front. So we've got, I used basically a rectangle this time. You could use a circle, whatever you would like to put out here on our front layer. So basically you need a piece of white, vanilla, beige, some kind of a light color, and a mat. So the mat is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8, and this piece of cardstock then is 2 5/8 by 3 5/8. So let's go ahead and we'll just put this down on our mat. So just centered up best as possible. Just something like that. Looks pretty good. Okay, we'll set that to the side for just a second. Now we've got a piece of, for our inside, that's 4 by 5 1/4. So that also is a normal inside card layer for your A2 cards. So we'll go ahead and put this in here, get that centered. Okay, back to our front. 2 pieces of pattern paper. Okay, these are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. They could be the same pattern paper, or they could be 2 different coordinating pieces of pattern paper. One's going to go here, and the other's going to go in here, so that when you open this up, you have some, decoration in there. So let's get these 2 down. A little bit of glue here. So we're going to go ahead and put this right here. Now I'm trying to make sure that it's centered left to right, and also even top to bottom with the white piece that I put on the inside. So just like that. And then this one, we can again center this on the front and attempt to make these even top and bottom. And we will go just like that. Then, when it comes to this piece you put on the front here, you could do one of 2 things. You can glue this down, or you could pop it up with dimensionals. I'm going to go ahead and keep ours flat just for our template. But just keep in mind, if you want to write yourself a little note in here, about things that you could do this, flat or popped up, you completely can do that. So I'm just going to put this back up here again and kind of eyeball it here. Kind of mark where I know I can't put glue, so I have to keep my glue to the left hand side, because I don't want to glue my card shut, because that would be a disaster. So let's go ahead and just center this basically top to bottom, and then you can kind of just put this halfway in the middle, and that just kind of centers this whole piece on the front of your card. So just something like that. And there we have it, our next 2 templates to put in your collection. And go ahead and hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. This one here, template number 3, we're going to turn into Christmas card corner. Christmas cards tomorrow on Wednesday. And this is going to be what we use for Fun Fold Friday this coming Friday. So that is all I have for you today, and I will see you in a couple days. Have a crafty day. Bye.